So a brutal murder recently happened on a subway, and normally you'd expect the media to go wild with coverage, but this time they were dead silent. And honestly, that silence just screams embarrassment and a lot of fear to me, and it really reveals some serious problems with America's system, media, and politics. Here's why. If you don't know about the case, on August 22nd, 23-year-old Ukrainian girl Irina Zaruska was heading home after work in North Carolina. She came to America after fleeing the war back home. She got on the train and sat down, and behind her was this guy, DeCarlos Brown. You could already tell something was off about him. She was just minding her own business when, out of nowhere, he pulled a pocket knife and stabbed her 3 times, one straight through her throat. Like, imagine that. This girl escaped a war, came to America believing it would be safe, only to be killed in public like that. Brown then wrapped the knife in his clothes, tossed it, and ran off. But it gets even crazier because later we learned that Brown had 14 prior convictions and schizophrenia. So why was he just casually walking around the city? It all ties back to politics, of course. So the Democrats pushed this thing called cashless bail. It started out with good intentions actually, because under the old system, if you got arrested, you could pay bail and go home before trial. And for the rich, of course, they could always pay up and go free. But the poor just had to sit in jail. Democrats said that was unfair, so they pushed for reform. No cash bail, meaning even if you've got prior, even if you are dangerous, you can just walk free while waiting for trial and no money needed. But in practice, it's a nightmare because people like Brown with a violent history and serious mental illness were simply let out, and we all saw how that turned out. So this really shows a major fail in Democratic policy. And knowing that the mainstream media like CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times are basically on the Democrats' team, I mean, are we even surprised they stayed so quiet? It's even worse when you look at the details because the murder happened in August, but security footage wasn't released until September the 5th. Officials said it was because of legal procedure, but the public believes the real reason is that after stabbing the girl, Brown shouted, "I got the white girl," which immediately turned the whole case into a hate crime. But it wasn't the usual white on black hate crime that the media loves to highlight, the whole black people are the systemic victims narrative. It was the reverse, black on white. Awkward and super risky. Like, are you really asking them to cover a story that plays straight into the ugliest stereotypes? Black criminal, white victim? No way. So they did nothing, even if it left the girl's family voiceless. And guess who finally dragged this story into the spotlight? Trump. On September 8th, he posted calling it the ugly result of Democratic bail reform. Only after that did major outlets decide to cover it. And people were like, so the murder wasn't news until Trump tweeted? So in the end, this isn't just about one heartbreaking murder. It's a window into how American politics and media really work. People are grieving and asking, is the so-called free press really interested in truth or more worried about whether the truth helps or hurts them? And that fair, progressive policy, who is it really protecting here? So would you still trust the media? Drop your thoughts below and share your experience, and follow me for more hot global stories.